Now we're ready. Hi, we're back. It's been a hot minute, or 20,000 hot minutes. Yeah, welcome back. We're in the kitchen. So as the title suggests, today I decided, hey self, there's a lot of blueberries out right now. It's blueberry season. So why don't you make some blueberry muffins? And I was like, you know what, self? You're right. So basically what I decided to do today is we're gonna make some blueberry muffins. They're a great snack, great for lunches, especially for kids who are going back to school now. So the recipe makes around 12 muffins. You can make them a little bit smaller, make some more, you can make them a little bit bigger, but that's what you're gonna get out of this recipe. It's a great recipe, I've tried it before. I can't wait to make some more. So yeah, let's get right to it and I'll show you what you're gonna need. What's my line, Bryn? Alright guys, so first things first, as always, we're going to be doing a dry mix and a wet mix. Same thing as our other recipes that we've done before. We're going to start with our dry mix. So you're going to need your trusty old sift. Where my sift at? Oh, there she is. And a nice decent sized bowl here. And you're going to be sifting the flour and the baking powder into this, a little bit of salt as well, and then once that's all combined together, you can make your wet mix afterwards. So we'll get started with the sifting. Remember to only put a little bit in at a time. You don't want to put the entire thing, because if you do that, you're gonna make really big, really awesome to clean mess. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. So make sure to take your time, do little bits at a time, and it'll make your life a lot easier at the end of the day. Dang it. Alright guys, once you got your flour sifted here, it's hard to kind of see, but it's nice and sifted. You're going to take your baking powder, kind of throw that in. You can sift this as well. I'm too lazy to do that, or whatever. But I recommend doing it if you have the time. And you're also going to add your salt as well. So add that in, get it all nice and ready. We'll put this aside, and then we'll start our wet mix. Alright guys, once you have your dry mix ready, you can just set it aside over there. We're going to start with our wet mix now. Not too difficult, you got to just go through it. So first we have our butter here. It's hard to see, but I would recommend that you leave your butter sitting out and just let it kind of become warm naturally by sitting on the I don't know how you say that. But yeah, so just leave your butter out, try to get it to soften naturally. Heating it up is not the best option if you don't have it, because it kind of changes the consistency of the muffins a little bit. So naturally softened butter, way better. Just leave it on the counter and it'll soften by itself. If you don't have that option, you can throw it in the microwave. I had to do that a little bit because my butter wasn't quite softened through. So I did throw it in for a couple seconds. But I would recommend completely and utterly trying to let it soften by itself if you can. So we're going to put it into the bowl here. Just gotta try to get the most of it. Put it aside. And then we're going to cream it with the sugar. So we put our butter in. We have our bowl of sugar. Once again, a little hard to see. So we're going to try to put this in and mix it together. So it's going to become a nice fluffy texture. So you want to mix it quite well. So it might take a couple of seconds here. Alright guys, once that's nice and creamed together, you're going to add in your eggs. I would recommend adding your eggs one at a time. Once again, if you can get your eggs room temperature just by hanging out. It's hard to say apparently. Yeah, so once you can get them kind of room temperature, just break them, put them in one at a time, mix it in. Nothing too complicated. Try not to get some eggshells in there. Put one at a time there. One. So we're gonna mix that up a little bit. You guys and your distractingness. Ah, yes. My old nemesis. We're back. Alright guys, now that you have mixed in your wet mix, you're going to start to add in your dry mix. I would add it in a little bit at a time. Don't add it all in once because you're going to make a giant mess. So you're going to add in about like half. Put that in there. I put in a little bit already, so I don't want to put too much in, but yeah, you want to put in about half, mix that up nice and good, and then mix in the other half. So that will take about a few minutes, so I'll meet you guys once I'm done mixing these together. Alright you guys, once you have mixed everything together, it's going to give you a pretty thick batter. It's kind of hard to see here, but it's pretty thick, nice, and you don't want to over mix it, but you do want to mix it so that everything is somewhat smooth. So once that's all done, you're going to add in your blueberries. The recipe says that you should add 2 1/4 cups of blueberries. I would say add in to taste, I guess. If you like a lot of blueberries, put in as much as you want. If you don't like a whole lot of blueberries, just a little bit, maybe put a little less. A lot of it depends on the size of your blueberries and also how much blueberries you have. For example, if you use regular blueberries, like the bigger ones, those ones you probably won't use as many because, I mean, they're a little bit larger. These, the wild blueberries, they're a little bit different. They're smaller, so you can put a little bit more. They're actually a little bit better, I find, for cooking than the larger blueberries. They have a sweeter flavor. So I find I like these ones better for cooking, and then the larger blueberries for eating and other things. But yeah, so I would say put as much blueberries as you like, but I mean, that's all up to you. So yeah, we'll put in our blueberries and then we'll get that all mixed up. One other thing I forgot to mention, guys, whenever you're putting in your blueberries, make sure you put them in a little bit at a time and be careful when you stir. I would recommend kind of stirring very slowly and like doing very big turns with them. You don't want to try to smush your blueberries because then it'll get kind of the dough all mixed up. You can if you'd like to, if you want that blueberry flavor to be like in the whole dough. I prefer my blueberries kind of just staying whole, so I put in a little bit at a time and just kind of, when I mix it, I mix it very... No, you can't have blueberries, dude. Alright. Once you have your mixture to the proper blueberry consistency, your ratio is on point, you're going to be putting it into the pre-papered muffin holes tray. We're going to fill them up almost to the top, like just a little over 3/4. I like to have them kind of like balloon out a little bit like a muffin would. In order to do that, you got to put quite a bit. The recipe does indicate putting it 3/4 full, but I've never had it really go over that much when you do put it 3/4. So up to you as to how big or how full you want them to be. If they are a little bit bigger, it will take a little bit longer to cook, but if they're a little bit smaller, it will take a little bit less time. Just keep that in mind when you do that. So we're gonna get this filled up, and then I'll meet you guys when we're ready to cook. Don't judge me. Alright, once you've gotten your mixture all divvied up in your little conveniently papered muffin holes, you're going to be putting it in the oven. You're going to be baking it for about 30 minutes. You can, if they're a little bit smaller, a little bit less. If they're a little bit bigger, a little bit more. But I'd put it at around 30 minutes and then just keep an eye on them. Once they're a little bit lightly browned, that's when you're going to take them out. So we're going to get that into the oven and get that going. What are you doing, silly Bryn? Looking for a belly rub? You're so spoiled. Alright guys, it's finally been 30 minutes. We're gonna take these out and see how they've turned out. I'm excited. Hey there, buddy. Woo, that's hot. They look delicious. It's hard to see, but they are slightly golden brown, and that's exactly what you want from them. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Hopefully they'll turn out really good for you. I like this recipe. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I know I haven't been uploading as much recently, a lot of things in life going on as usual. I'll try to upload here and there, maybe not as consistently, but thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys on the next one, and hope you enjoy your lovely blueberry muffins. I'll see you guys on the next one. They're holding the same bone. The stalemate is real.